Hi. I wanted to talk a little bit about Pat O'Brien, and I'm hoping this message gets to Pat and to the uh, police officer and to the people that hey, Oria, the unfortunate people whose house he found himself in. I'll just get right to it. And sorry, I'm late out here. I pulled my back yesterday, so I can't move too good. So here I am like this. So, but I'm sorry. I wanted to make this message. Um, I met Pat briefly after a concert several years ago, and it wasn't. It was fairly brief, but long enough for me to realize he was a very kind and good guy, seriously. And so I just want to say what Pat did, I have no doubts, was due to being out of his mind, not being in control of, just being whacked on something, be it heavy drugs or alcohol or both or something. So I mean, which I make no excuses for it, but I want to point out. I just really want to stress. I I'm convinced Pat's a really good guy. I think he made a big mistake, but I would hope and I would urge that people go softly on him because he was not in his right mind. He was out of his mind. Obviously, I read the report. It was painful for me to do so because seeing this happen. I mean, my heart goes out to the officer, the family. Pat. I mean, thank God nobody got hurt. I think he was out of his mind. I don't think he knew what he was doing. I think he was wasted. And I don't really make excuses to be I'm not going to make a whole lot of excuses for that. Don't do drugs and all that stuff. But I mean, like, pardon me. I guess I'm not talking very professional, but I'm not a professional. If I were to think for a second that Pat was the kind of guy that would just be sitting there one night and like just sitting around saying I want to go rob some people just for the thrill of it, and set a fire or whatever. Then I would be singing a much different tune. I'd be like, screw that guy. He's obviously not a good guy. I don't think it's like I said. I think he was out of his mind. I don't think he knew what he was doing, and I'm sure where he is right now. I'm sure he is eating a huge dose of humility and I would imagine he is very uh, I think he's feeling very sorry for what's happened. Obviously, I mean, not just for being caught. I think bad guys just feel bad when they get caught. I think good guys feel bad when they screw up and something disastrous like this happens. And I would just very urge, I very much urge, pardon me, um, I very much urge the family whose house he found himself inside of, which admittedly I know that's got to be a scary thing. Me, I'm a big fan of Cannibal Corpse, so if Pat O'Brien came to my door, I'd probably be real excited. And if he was wasted, I'd be like, oh, that would be a little freaky even for a fan. So, but I mean, yeah, that's not a good thing. But I just hope there's forgiveness involved. I think and whatever when Pat faces the repercussions of this unfortunate event, I really just hope that I, I hope people can go easy on him, can forgive him, can realize it, can understand that he's a good guy, and I'd be happy if there was some forgiveness involved if he explained himself, give him a chance to explain himself. Thanks for sticking your butt in my face, Oreo, and I mean, I'd like to see something. Maybe some unfortunate kids who want to rock and play the guitar. Maybe they're in need of some public service guitar lessons. Uh, he can tell kids not to do drugs and teach them the guitar at the same time. It's some kind of public service like this. I just please go easy on the guy. I think he's a good guy that screwed up. And I just want to say also, I want to get that out there. I hope the all the people involved, including the police officers who were on the scene, the family, and Pat himself. I hope they can see each other eye to eye and understand what's happened, and that I just know in my heart Pat's going to be apologetic and mean it. I don't think he's a bad guy. It's like I said, if he was a bad guy that just did this stuff in a in a conscious state, and then I'd say screw that guy. I mean, no matter how much I liked his music. But I just want to share this real quick. Back in my 20s, I was having a real hard time. Had a real difficult upbringing, and I found myself in a position where I'd thrown away. I just want to share this story just to show how kind of this parallel. I was in a real bad way. I gave up my life to follow my family, and where I was in a position where a lot of people didn't understand what was going on and thought I was just a loser. I was in a new neighborhood, and I just got treated like garbage everywhere I went. I found myself in a trailer park drinking 40 ounces of malt liquor, which was my kind of go-to. I just binge drank to just get through the pain I was dealing with of having given up my life and being treated like garbage everywhere I went. I couldn't escape it. I wasn't getting a blessing to go do what I wanted to do. I was had my arm twisted to live a life that was really difficult for me in a place I didn't want to be, where I was being treated horribly. And hey, that rhymed. That almost sounded like song lyrics. And yeah, my solution was to hang out with some people and drink a lot of beer. And I passed out. And this is not the first time it's happened. I sleepwalked right out of the trailer. And I was looking, and I woke up walking around, and I knocked on the door of the trailer. Ironically, right across the street. And the losers over there said, "Get on out here. You don't go to..." I just asked for where James lived, And I'm not one of those guys that wants to shout racism or anything, but one of the two guys I've been hanging out was like the only black dude in this trailer park. So I kind of wonder still to this day. I'm like, this guy's your neighbor. I'm like, yeah, I'm just looking for James. I'm just a trailer. And their solution is like, get on out of here. I know it's late. I felt like, I'd be freaked out. You say this guy's drunk. He's looking for his... So I still don't know why they had to call the cops, but I think there were a lot of losers out there who just were nasty toward one another. And, I was, of course, an idiot walking around drunk in the middle of the night, but I was just trying to find this guy's place. Ironically, right across the way, all these trailers looked the same, and I was drunk. And the cops arrived on the scene, and instead of just checking me out, they waited. I guess they were waiting to see if I tried breaking and entering or something like that, which, I mean, I guess if I'd been still sleepwalking, not even knowing what I was doing, who knows? But I mean, thank God I woke up, because I actually walked outside and was walking around, and then I just came to. I said, oh my God, I've been sleepwalking and I'm still drunk, so I was out of it. I was totally out of it. I mean, I woke up, and I got in big trouble. I finally gave up, and I'd never driven drunk up until that point, but I didn't know where to go. And looking back, I mean, stupid. I should have just slept in my car. And like the 3 or 4 police officer cars were just waiting for me to do something instead of just saying, "Hey, dude, do you need some help? Are you okay?" And they would have realized. They even told me later on I was one of the nicest guys they'd ever dealt with. But I mean, I don't know why they couldn't have tried to just help see what's going on, why they wanted to wait and see if I did something bad, which was, of course, yes, I got in my car and started driving home, because I just, that was a very stupid decision. I should have just tried to sleep in my car. It was the dead of night. I said, shoot, anyway, yeah, so it was a big mistake. And even when I had to go to I lost my license for a year. I had to go to I had to go to this class, and even the lady, I mean, I'll tell you, a lot of the people there were just partying and going crazy. And she even said, like, man, you really shouldn't be here. I wasn't the kind of, I think she just realized I was not I'm not saying all those other guys were degenerates. They had made mistakes, but I think she really realized I wasn't a bad guy. I just really screwed up. I was having a really bad time in my life, and the people around me were hurting me a lot. And my answer was substance abuse. Never got into drugs, just heavy drinking. So anyway, yeah, like I'm sharing this because it parallels. It's like I read Pat's story. I say, yeah, he was out of his mind. He was gone, and yeah. So it seems there's one other thing I want to say. I think I've dealt with a lot of being a fan of Cannibal Corpse and death metal. Man, I just want to say this, and I'm done. Let me ramble about this real quick. Permit me, because I think a lot of really narrow-minded people, they see death metal and they say, oh, well, these people are all crazy. I'm like, you got to be. you got to be really ignorant to just have that knee jerk reaction to death metal. I mean, it's like you got to be as ignorant as I was when I was 13, because when I first discovered Cannibal Corpse, I seriously thought these guys were ravenous lunatics, you know, and what they might have been young dumb kids that were really made really cool music. They were capable of, you know, a lot of people in metal party too hard and all that stuff. You know, I'm not saying they were total Boy Scouts, but you know, then you come to just realize these guys. Watch Centuries of Torment. Go buy that DVD. Support the set. Support the band. They're good guys. And when I discovered death metal when I was like 14, I got Cannibal Corpse first when I was 13. It was too scary for me. Carcass later when I was 14. That's what changed my life. When I was really finding out who I was. And people look at the content, you know, they look at the older, more juvenile as phases of these bands where it's full of all this, you know, blood and guts and blasphemy and stuff. And you know, I think they fail to realize in a lot of cases that in the bands I respect, like Cannibal Corpse, this is the musical embodiment of horror. You know, to me, I mean, it's just very brutal, very scary. I mean, to me, it's like watching Saw. It's not the most wholesome entertainment in the world, but to me, I mean, people don't get it when I say this is like almost a spiritual thing, because they look at the lyrics and they say, well, you must have mental problems. I said, no, just the energy of death metal. You know, it's like the energy of being at a concert and just having that music move through you. And it's not for a lot of people. It just doesn't have chemistry with them. It just scares them. It sounds like a harsh rattling noise. To me, it makes me want to dance. It's like, I mean, when I say dance, I mean just I guess just the way you dance to heavy metal. To me, it's energy moving through me, and it's fantastic. And I think death metal is a healthy thing. So anybody that tries to use Pat's involvement in the great band Cannibal Corpse is like, oh look, you can tell he's crazy. Just look at these lyrics. I mean, if anyone pulls that, forget that person, seriously. Okay, like look at Pat, look at the character of the band members. And you will recognize them to be very, very good dudes. And I hope the other band members at Cannibal Corpse, I know Pat's got friends and family that are watching out for him. I know Vince Locke gave him some props. You know, the man who does the incredible artwork for the album covers, and also worked for Neil Gaiman, by the way, and some other real rad stuff. History of Violence. Sorry, I'm geeking out. It's not a review video. You know, if you've stuck around this long, I felt compelled to make this video because, like I said, when I met Pat several years ago, I talked to him. I said, "You did a great job." I said, "I'm a huge fan. Everyone who knows me knows about Cannibal Corpse because I won't shut up. I just think you guys are fantastic. You did a good job. Blah blah blah." And he said, "Thanks, man. Thanks." And so I said, I tapped his shoulder a minute later, or he was talking to some other fans. I said, "I'm sorry. Would it be corny if I got my picture with you?" He said, "Yeah, it'd be totally corny, but I'll do it." You know, and he's just the nicest guy, you know. And we got our pictures. He's like, "Whoa, I think I moved or something like that." He wanted to make sure I got a good picture with him. So, hey Pat, I hope you're listening, buddy. You're a good guy. I mean, everybody makes mistakes. It's really too bad things got out of hand, and that there's repercussions that comes with things that go this bad. But you know, it's I'm a man of faith, and I don't know about you, but I firmly believe that God is with you. You know, just even if ignorant people want to say, no, he's the spawn of Satan or something like that, just ignore it. You're a good guy, okay? And I think you'll get through this, and I think you'll do good with your life, and you'll pick up and move on. I think there's going to be people there to help you, and I know the metal communities, I'm sure they got your back. So, and yeah, once again, to the officers and the family involved, God bless you all too. I'm really, really, really sorry on behalf of Pat, you know, and I know Pat is, but I just want to stress that he's a good guy. Go easy on him. Please reach out to dude, help dude. Yeah, God bless y'all. Sorry it happened. But realize he's, I hope you realize he's a good guy. And please, forgive and move on. And once more, for the record, if he was not a good guy, I would not be saying this. I'd be saying screw that guy, but that's not the case. Okay, God bless y'all. I'm going to shut up. Bye.